Dez! Oh, Dez. Stiff, tight, sore, weak, fatty, maybe. Maybe like 5 extra pounds of weight. Dez Bryant, New Orleans Saints, first practice, Achilles tendon rupture. So what is the Achilles tendon? All right, so this is a model of your foot, okay? I don't have the whole leg on this particular model, but the Achilles tendon attaches here. Now, it's a confluence tendon that attaches on that tip of the calcaneal bone, which is your heel bone, and it spreads all around this area over a relatively wide square area. It's relatively durable through a thinner section, and then it broadens out through a musculocutaneous junction and then becomes the big muscular calf. First practice, right away, and what's going on? So basically, the Achilles tendon is a very important structure for walking, running, any kind of stance maneuver. So what does a wide receiver do? He runs, he stops, he turns, he jigs and jags and bolts, right? So everything about the Achilles is Dez's Achilles heel. Ooh, that was poetic. And I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Dez. So anyway, but the thing about the Achilles tendon is when you land and plant, there's a lot of eccentric loading. Now, you've heard this term from me before. Eccentric means when your tendon or muscle or tissue construct is going through a contraction and an extension period at the same time. So it's kind of like when you're trying to stop the refrigerator or dresser from falling down the stairs, right? Your buddy asks you to move and you, like a knucklehead, have nothing better to do, so you decide to help him move. And what do? You find yourself moving a dresser or a refrigerator down this precarious staircase, and you're holding it like this, and all of a sudden you're contracting your biceps, and then it's pushing and pulling, and then you tear your biceps tendon, right? Same thing with the Achilles. So the Achilles tendon, you run, stop, jump, shift, move, and you get contraction, powerful contraction, and tension and extension at the same time. Now there's a little bit of motion because of other muscles around the heel and the foot and area, the foot flexor, so you have a little bit of motion, but for the most part, that functional, the bulk of the dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, which is going from here to there, is gone. So the Achilles is attached here. So it pulls like a lever. Simple physics and biomechanics. It pulls. So it pulls and allows you to push off the ground. So pushing off the ground because the tendon is pulling up, okay? So in terms of where the Achilles tears, it doesn't really pull directly off the bone. Now that can happen. It usually ruptures right in the what we call the watershed area. So that's when there's an area of blood supply, an area of less blood supply. It's kind of a watershed area, musculotendinous junction, or within the actual mid-substance of the tendon, and that's where it ruptures. But if you have a full Achilles tendon, you tore it. And the tendons, basically, it's kind of like taken from overlapping interstitial fibers and they tear. And it's like spaghetti. It literally looks like all these weaved spaghettis because these fibers have literally just torn, just like that. Just like that. I wanted to say that again. So anyway, so when it comes down to the repair, what can we do? Now, can we treat it without surgery? Absolutely. There is good strategy and evidence for treating it non-operatively in a cast with your foot in plantar flexion, not dorsiflexion, plantar flexion to allow those tendon edges to get close enough that it allows it to heal. So is an athlete like Dez, a wide receiver, gonna get his Achilles tendon repaired? More than likely, yes, but we don't know. We don't know all the details just yet, as far as I've read. But more than likely he would. Now there's different approaches. You can do a full open, a big incision here, open it up, peritine on, repair, do a special type of braided construct to bring the tendons together. Or you can do a minimally invasive where you just have these pins with sutures and you basically bridge it together percutaneously or subcutaneously under the skin without making a big formal incision. So why did Dez rupture his Achilles tendon? I don't know why I'm shaking this at you, but that is not supposed to happen in a wide receiver that just got signed on. The Achilles tendon is made up of muscles that then become a confluence of tendons that attach to a bone. If the muscles are tight, if the fascia is tight, if the joint above, below, and around in the entire lower extremity from the hip down to the very tips of your toes have overlapping, interconnected, and interstitial matrices of fibers, tissues, muscles, nerves, and vessels all the way along its entire limb, that means something along the line, if it's stiff, tight, sore, weak, fatty, maybe like 5 extra pounds of weight. Sorry, Dez. But a little deconditioning can do that. So, Dez, hope to see you out there in 6 to 12 months. If you really push it, could you go earlier than that? Or if you really take your time and get strong because you're already a few pounds overweight, it may take you a little longer, but you'll be back. Work hard.